So today we're talking about the lead hand hook. The lead hand hook is the power strike, or is the heavier hit off of the front hand. We had the cross last time where I'm turning body weight into the punch and I'm really using that to add more force to the back hand. The lead hand, so far we've got the jab, which is relatively light. It's quick, it's nice that way in that it can get to the target quickly without a ton of commitment, but it doesn't have the same power as the cross, and the same knockout potential as the cross. So we're gonna add a hook. And the hook for today is gonna be off of the lead hand, and it's going to similarly add a lot of body weight to provide that extra force. So the best way for me to describe this, the way that I think this is easiest to see, is I start from across. You will rarely see the hook on its own without some kind of setup. So for us, it's usually off of that cross. So from the cross, I have put my weight onto the front leg. From here, I'm gonna pick my elbow up and align my knuckle with my elbow. So from my cross position, I've already thrown my punch. I'm gonna pick my elbow up and align my elbow and my knuckle together. I don't wanna be upward this way or down this way. Nobody ever does this, but like this is the big one. Because like with our straight punches, I wanna make sure my elbow and my knuckle are in alignment so I don't kink at the wrist. If I hit this way, I'm going to torque the wrist and it will hurt a bunch. That is especially easy to do here on the hook because people have a tendency to either fold here, or if you're going palm in, to fold here or to fold here. So avoid that as much as you can. I shift the weight forward for the cross. I pick up, and I don't actually care if you're palm down or palm in. I know different people do it different ways. Experiment with it, see what works well for you. When we get to actually hit some mitts, experiment with it, see what feels right, what feels less good. So I've got that alignment. From here, I'm gonna shift the weight from my front foot across and back to my back foot. So I'm taking all the weight from my lead leg and putting it on the back leg, not just straight back, but back into the side, back into my left in this case. To not just drag my weight backwards, but to drag it through the target so that the punch, as it comes around, is hitting sideways and my weight is driving. It is taking that weight and punching through to the side. So my cross goes forward, my hook goes sideways and a little bit back. Notice I pick up as I rotate, the shoulder opens a little, not a lot. I want to avoid winding this up and really throwing like a big haymaker. So I throw my cross, this hand is tight, keeping a nice guard. I pick up in the elbow. As I hit, it opens just slightly, hitting through that center line and not much further. I don't need to hit all the way over here. I'm just trying to hit through that head or through that head, right? It's not punch over here where there's nothing. It is on the same target. So my cross hits, my hook goes about through the target, and that's mostly it. Body weight drives the cross, body weight drives the hook. So I'm turning and hitting as I throw that hook. Again, palm in, palm down, up to you. 1 or 2. But I'm trying to keep this a relatively tight hook. Don't let your arm extend out too much for right now. It is a shorter range hit than the cross. You can adjust for that in footwork, and we'll talk about that in the next video. But what I want to avoid is, again, this like big, open, wide haymaker for right now. It is very big. It is very easy to see coming. It is easier to then counter. So try and keep it tight for right now. Putting them together, we have cross and hook. And then you can come right back to another cross, and another hook, and another cross, and another hook. So you get this nice cycle going of weight coming to the front leg, to the back leg, to the front leg, to the back leg. Cross and hook, cross and hook, cross and hook. And you can feel that weight shift throughout. For the hook, just like for the jab and for the cross, I want to make sure that I have a hand guarding. So when I throw my cross, this hand stays up to guard for the hook. When I throw the hook, this hand comes back to guard on my high line, on my jaw line again, while I'm throwing that hook. Cross and hook, cross and hook. And then one last time, don't overdo it, right? If my center line is this line on the floor, I'm punching to the line, I'm throwing my hook past the line, but not by much, but just by like 1/5 distance. It's not punching all the way over here. There's very little extension in the arm. It is opening a bit in the shoulder, but I still have that 90-degree bend in my elbow when I'm done. Cross, hook, cross. Cross, hook, cross. Cross, hook, cross. So the hook comes to the target and then not much past it. So check out the hook, play with it, see what you think. Talk about it next week.